Hey there everyone. Today we're going to go over the initial out-of-the-box derailleur adjustments that need to be done to every Cyberbike, and then we're going to go over how to adjust your derailleur after you've had a few good rides in and your cables have stretched. Cable stretch is a very natural, normal part of the wear and tear of the bicycle in the initial break-in period, where the steel cables that make up the tensioning system that controls the derailleurs on your bicycle will stretch, so causing the bike to go out of adjustment. You just need to go in there and do a little bit of fine tuning. Your bike will be just like new. The first adjustment we'll need to make is ensuring that our higher and lower limits are both set accurately to ensure that the bicycle chain cannot go over the back end of the cassette or get stuck between the bottom of the cassette and the bike frame. This is possibly the most important adjustment you need to make from a safety aspect. To do this adjustment, we're going to initially remove all tension from the derailleur using a 5mm Allen key. We're just going to go and let our cable hang like that. The first adjustment we're going to do is going to be our high limit here up top, and that is going to adjust your higher gears down here. We are going to take the screwdriver or 2.5mm Allen key, whichever is needed for your model, and we are going to slowly pedal the bicycle while we twist in this screw here. And as you can see, the chain is starting to become a lot quieter. Now we're going to over screw this in to the point where the chain jumps up onto the second gear. As you can see, the chain is up on the second gear. There's no tension on the derailleur, so we know this is done only by the limits of the derailleur. After we have that up, we can go ahead and start pedaling our bike again while unscrewing the limit screw. And we are going to unscrew to the point where our chain falls back into place and it is smooth while we are pedaling. So as you can see, we have a smooth, very little chatter in the chain, so we know the bottom limit or the high limit is set correctly. The next limit we're going to set is the lower limit. That's up here. That will ensure that your chain doesn't go over the side of your cassette. This one, we are going to take the bike and begin pedaling, and then slowly and carefully push on the cassette, push on the derailleur. We're going to push and make sure that we cannot push the chain off the back side of the cassette, no matter how hard we push, using a reasonable amount of force. Now as you can see, it is not falling off, but there is a little catch. It's a little bit loud for our liking, and there we go. It went ahead and fell off, so we know that the low limit is not set correctly. What we're going to do now is take our Allen key or our screwdriver once more, and we're going to go ahead and screw in that limit. And we're going to try it again. So now when we go, as you can see, now the chain will not fully go up the cassette, so we know we've screwed the limit in too far. We can now go, back it out a little, reset, and push on the derailleur once more. All right, we got up one more gear. Let's go ahead and unscrew it a little bit more. Now on this adjustment, you're going to want to work in quarter turns. A little bit goes a long way for this adjustment. It is very sensitive. We're going to test it once more. And as you can see now, no matter how hard I push on this, the chain will never come off the back side of the derailleur. So we know our lower limit is adjusted correctly. After your limits are set correctly, we can take the cable, pull it taut using our hands. You do not need to put a tool on this to apply enough pressure. And then we can go ahead and tighten our derailleur down, ensuring that the cable is taut. We can start adding tension to the derailleur to make sure that we can shift through all of our gears. First, we're going to do a check to see where we need to make adjustments. We're going to slowly pedal the bike, attempt to shift through all the gears. And then shift back down. As you saw, it's not shifting very well at all, but we can fix that. We're going to start by adding some tension to the derailleur. This can be done using your barrel adjuster down here, just turning it that direction to add and turning it the opposite direction to remove tension. Tension is what allows your shifter to shift your chain up your cassette. Now that we've added a little bit of tension, let's see how it looks. Begin to pedal and attempt to shift up. We found a spot where it will not shift up, so we're going to add a quarter turn. That one was a little slow, so we'll add another quarter turn. Now we can get to all the gears. Let's see how it goes back down. Excellent. Now let's double check our work. Going through the gears again. One at a time. Ensuring. Once again, that was a little slow. So we're going to adjust it again. Adding a little bit more tension. We're almost there. Let's go all the way back down to the bottom. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, as you saw, it landed a little bit slow going from this gear to this gear. We're actually going to back the tension off a tad. We're going to give it one more go. Up, up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we have our initial out-of-the-box rear derailleur adjustment done, and we are ready to go. Now after a few rides, your cables are going to stretch. So we're going to need to come back at that point and readjust the tension here, and maybe even with the barrel adjuster up by your shifter. They both operate in the same way, adding minor amounts of tension to the rear derailleur cable. That way we can shift through all of our gears smoothly and consistently. A good way for us to double check that our lower limit is correct is to shift all the way into the lowest gear. And while stationary, we are going to push down on the thumb lever of our shifter and see if our derailleur moves. There you can see our derailleur is wiggling a little. That means that we are slightly out of adjustment. To resolve this, we are going to screw in our lower limit a quarter turn, and now when we go, we can see there is no wiggle there, but we are still able to shift into our easiest gear. I hope this video was helpful and it walked you through the steps about how to adjust your derailleur out of the box and after a few rides to remove the cable stretch. Remember, these steps are applicable both to the Acera and to the LT Woo models of rear derailleurs. It's the same steps, just on the LT Woo you will need a 2.5mm Allen key, which can be found in your little multi-tool in your box. That tool will be needed to adjust the rear limits instead of using a Phillips head screwdriver. Remember, we always have a dedicated team of mechanics here, happy to help and answer any questions you may have. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a great time riding your Cyberbike.